right, guys, welcome back to the ALGS channel. Hope you guys are all doing well and having a great day so far. Rostermania has already begun. I told you guys it would be happening soon. I did not think it would be happening this soon, but honestly, this is going to be probably the biggest off-season Rostermania we have had in a while. We're not off-season, but in between split 1 and split 2. So a lot to dive into regarding the TSM breakup. What's going on with TSM? What's happening over there? Some other teams that are going to be breaking up or at least making some changes. Why is it all happening? What's going on with these budget cuts? And also, which specific player will probably shake things up the most? A lot to dive into and discuss. A big shout out to Glitch Energy for sponsoring today's video. Make sure to go get yourself some Smurf juice. Use code jmeyels to get your 20% discount as well. Those guys have been helping sponsor the channel for so long, and honestly, just the support I get from them is so much. So every time you guys buy, every time you use my code, you have no idea how much you're helping out the channel. A ton. So firstly, wanted to make mention of Sweet Dreams. He came out to say huge congrats to Reject for winning split 1 playoffs. Winning the triple mouse and keyboard in this era of Apex Legends is wildly impressive. That's something that's not being spoken about. You know, not only did Reject win coming from APAC North, not only did Reject win, you know, being doubted in a region that wasn't necessarily as North America dominant, but they're doing it as a triple mouse and keyboard team as well. That's just really commendable. And as for us, though, you know, LG in general, I'm content with a top 10, given it was my teammate's first LAN / first Pro League split ever. On to the next, and thank you, LG fam. Honestly, I don't think Sweet's getting enough credit for all of this. You know, you've got teams that are super duper vets like TSM that everybody was expecting once again to win, and you know, they're falling way behind, and you know, Sweet's still trucking along, right? He's still in the top 10 of finals, and even last year, you know, they still had made finals and didn't do horrible. And you know, I feel like that conversation of, you know, the GOAT, the CEO, whatever, you know, it's Hal, it's Sweet, and then it was Hal and Zero. I feel like Sweet's been put on the back burner a little too much because the guy is still crushing it 100%. But that's something that a lot of people are trying. Hey, look, mouse and keyboard is back. Mouse and keyboard is on top. We don't need to be over prioritizing these controller players anymore, and I love this. So I'm really excited for mouse. And I also saw a tweet where someone said that, you know, by them winning, this is going to delay the aim assist nerf by about 2 years or so. But we've also got to talk about some other teams possibly getting involved and interested. So first off, you had the senior manager of facilities at esports ops over at 100 Thieves saying, what a tournament, congrats Reject, happy birthday again to this absolute gem of a human, nice week. And real question, should 100 Thieves return to Apex? Honestly, every time I see a head guy posting something like this for an organization, specifically their senior manager, I know this means, hey, we're looking at getting back. What is your feedback? You know, can you go ahead and hype us up to get back involved? So I really think the 100 Thieves is looking to get back in, and I'm excited for this as well, because there's going to be some rosters that you could pick up for sure. And then you had Scurry also saying there's a couple partner team slots open now as well. So could 100 Thieves get involved in that as well? But I think the biggest roster change that we need to make mention of was the TSM ordeal. So it started off with Fallout. Now, I actually have a deleted tweet of Fallout to kind of tie this in together as well, but Fallout had basically said, quote me on this, ALGS Rostermania after this event is going to be the most insane shakeup competitive Apex Legends has ever seen by order magnitude. And I don't think he's lying at all. And one of the biggest reasons, as Owen Kane had pointed out, Koyful as a free agent, you know, this guy comes from XSET, leaves XSET, which honestly, I feel a little soft spot for XSET because they've had Sykes leave and then get second place. They had Koyful leave and then go play as a sub and get top 5. So Koyful as a free agent and doing all that he did at this LAN and finals is going to shake things up. And Fallout said nailed it. So I would assume Fallout has heard some rumors about Koyful specifically, but we know he's heard some rumors about TSM. This is what he had to post earlier last night. He said, rumors have been swirling that the current fan favorite TSM roster may be breaking up after this event. 17th place finish may cement that. Is this the end of an era? My personal hope is that Hal, Evan, and Jordan come out to squash the rumors and TSM fights through it. Well, it seems like there will be some different shakeups. Number one, you had a lot of people speculating, you know, maybe Reps is going to retire, or maybe Evan's going to get kicked for knocked, or maybe even Evan would get kicked for Koyful or something along those lines. But honestly, I just feel like TSM doesn't need to make a roster change. But one thing we know that they are going to be changing, or at least exploring, and that is Raven came out to say this. He is looking for an organization. His contract with TSM has expired, and he's exploring all of his options. $1.3 million plus in prize pool earnings as a coach. Split 2 is coming right up, so let's start to chat. Now, he did confirm here he did not get dropped. His contract is simply over, and this was going to happen regardless of a result. Now, I've personally heard that there's going to be this change with the coach and then possibly even more changes as well with TSM. And I've also heard that a lot of this has got to do with budget cuts. So you'll see pretty soon that a lot of orgs are putting in budget cuts. And so therefore, Raven being the big coach guy, he might need to look for somewhere that is like, hey, we're willing to invest a little bit more. TSM may want to cut back. I'm not entirely sure of that story, but we do know of more budget cuts happening. So unfortunate, looks like Raven as the coach of TSM may no longer be a thing. Braden also had put out that he's looking for a team / looking for an org as a coach of Split 2 North American Pro League. This is guy it's been with Native for quite some time, but he did also acknowledge that there was budget cuts right here. So basically Native said he's going to be working in a different role, but they had to cut back the Apex budget a little bit. So that's why things are happening. So he feels like he's at the top of his game as a coach. Extreme amount of clarity and focus on what's important and what's not. And so also he got the vouch from Raven. So it seems like the coaching staff may be swapping around quite some bit. So specifically for TSM, specifically for Native, and we could also see some roster changes get involved in this as well. I would not imagine that Native would make another roster change, being that they've had all the time to do so. There again, if you have teams split up after the split one, playoff is over, maybe some more availability spikes that interest. Koyful going to be on the market, I'm sure. I'm interested to see what Legends do, as is Easy Flash going to come back? And I wouldn't see why not. Then again, Koyful played really, really well this split, so maybe they have to make the hard decision to do something like that. But that's two specific coaches changes that we're going to see as well. I know there's a lot of drama as well regarding the zones. Look, yeah, TSM didn't have their best tournament. Yeah, TSM didn't do so hot. Then again, there was not necessarily the biggest favoritism towards them and when it comes to the zone department. So 21 North zones, points out Case Winnie. And then also, just in general, they were not getting good zone pools the entire tournament, honestly. And I mean, on the flip side, you could also look back at other tournaments and say, well, they normally get a lot of good zone pools. So maybe it's just like karma or whatever you want to call it, things just evening itself out. But this is also Zerfer saying 3 out of 3 zones on World's Edge in losers round 2 went to trial. So literally they played 3 games on World's Edge and all 3 went to trial. So there have been known to be bugs as well. We actually did a custom game on the channel a while back where we were playing Olympus, and every single zone, like 4 games in a row, went to orbital cannon. So not sure if they got that bug. Of course, if that bug is legit, then this is a big problem to be happening on the the playoff main stage. So really hate that happened, and hopefully they can get things figured out when it comes to that. I think one of the biggest things that we need to make mention of, Zero pointed out, if there's an award for the most improved player since last LAN, it's got to be Nasky, honestly. And I've been saying this. Look, this guy plays pretty well at the World Championship last year. They're unsigned. I don't get it. He knows how to put a team together, and he does. He's done a great job as well. We saw the infamous matches yesterday with a contest with E8. E8 bounces back with a big game. Nasky answers right back with a big game of their own. So really good stuff, and I really hope that you can continue to see more orgs get involved and sign players like this. On the flip side, look, not just Nasky. I think that Zach Mazer needs to be in that conversation as well, because this guy had missed out on so many lands. This guy had missed out on so much Pro League, and so everybody in general was just really doubting Zach, and I think he's really pulled this E8 squad together in a really big way. So I'm excited for Nasky. I'm excited for E8, and to see how these guys continue to improve over the next couple of months in a Split 2 Pro League. Also want to mention a Split 2 Pro League specifically. We now know the dates, of course. That's going to be June 1st, Saturday. So we're literally just about 3 weeks away from Split 2 Pro League beginning. And we've also made mention of the groups in yesterday's video. I guess we could also pull them up here, but basically we're starting to see more stacked groups again. So I'm excited for this because it seems like LG and TSM will once again be in the same group play, but this was coming from oversight. Group A should be, and of course things are subject to change, but more than likely things will stick like this depending on Rostermania. So Dark Zero would be in Group A, SSG in Group A, Elevate, Oxygen, XSET, Sentinels, 9 Lives, CCE, Weave, and Tripods. Then Group B would be Moist, LG, TSM, Complexity, Optic Gaming, which is no longer Optic Gaming, of course. Optic left. So we'll see which org gets involved with this roster. Hopefully one does. And then EC, Ape Gang, Edgers, NGNL, Board, Cloud9, Disguise, Liquid Alienware, Furia, Drop-In Gaming, Native, Oblivion, Gaming Gladiator, Stallions, and Temper. So very interested to see how all of this stuff plays out. Of course, like the video and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all things going on inside the world of ALGS, specifically Rostermania. That will continue on this week. And until the next time, we will see you all later, Gators.